6 up, 6 down over the first 2 innings, and then they decided to break the game wide open.
And the 1-2. Rice high drive, right center field, way back there, off the base of the wall. Schumann to third, coasting home. Wells to third. He gets the wheel around. Rice hustling to third. 2-run score and a stand-up 2-run triple for the sizzling hot Ben Rice and the Yankees with a 12-run third inning. And the 2-1. Bellinger lines it right center field. How about another run? Base hit Cody Bellinger. Rice is home. And the Yankees with a 13-run third inning. Lucky 13 in Sacramento. And it's a Bellinger RBI single.
Remarkable. Glad we were able to make it stand up. Obviously, a lot of really good things offensively in that inning, from different walks, different 2-out hits, stolen bases. I don't think the prettiest game on either side necessarily, but we were able to make a really outstanding inning stand up.
So the Yanks win 13-8. That's the final score against the Athletics. They scored those 13 runs in the third inning. Steve was talking about just the ability to go 6 up and 6 down and be able to have everybody contribute the way that they do. In West Sacramento, that is a minor league ballpark, and it plays like a minor league ballpark. And when you have the New York Yankees with their ability to hit the ball out of the yard top to bottom in that lineup, it's going to be just an absolute show, right? That's a show that they put on. Ben Rice, top to bottom, every single guy who started in this game able to either get on or score or impact the game in some way and take advantage of the moment and take advantage of the ballpark. And, the problem is that the Athletics are a good team, but at home, they have the second worst ERA in the league. They're just behind the Rockies. Like, it's almost... their ability to win games at home is so set back by the ballpark and the conditions in which they play. If you're watching on TV right now, you can see what I'm talking about. It's a 5.63 ERA, worst home ERA. So when we talk about home field advantage and we think about the Tampa Bay Rays last year, Steve, having to play at George Steinbrenner Field, right? The Yankees spring training facility, their bread and butter is their pitching. And so they weren't able to win games. They weren't able to win at home. It was just a disaster. And the Athletics have this young team that's so exciting. And at one point, we're leading their division. But you have the second worst home ERA. Like, good luck winning ball games in your own park, no matter how good your offense is. So you run into a buzzsaw, which is the New York Yankees and their bats and that heavy lumber. And it's an absolute lopsided game in favor of the New York Yankees, who are still chasing the Rays in the division right now. But that's what you get in a minor league ballpark with the New York Yankees in town.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, the other part of the other side of the pendulum swinging the other way is they have the second worst ERA at home. They've got the fourth best ERA on the road. Now, the reality is they're probably somewhere in between those two, but I think on the better side of it. But they just obviously, the Yankees had 10 runs on the scoreboard without making an out in that third inning. They sent 18 batters to the plate. They batted around twice. And it was a 43-minute half inning. And Will Warren, remember, this is a minor league stadium, so there's not like there's an underground area off the dugout to go throw and stay warm. No. He had to go back out to the bullpen and throw in order to stay warm to be able to come back in that game. He might have had the best performance on the day. He did not give up an earned run. He gave up 3 unearned runs early. But for a guy to overcome sitting for 43 minutes and still go out there is something. So great win for the Yankees yesterday. The bullpen, Tim Hill, knocked around hard in that game yesterday, and he hadn't thrown in 5 days. But he got dinged around, and then Bednar had some trouble at the end, was able to get out of it overall. All right.
You know why, Steve? You know why? By the way, because the Athletics are actually a very good offensive team, right? They can hang around. They can't overcome that final score, but that is what they are really good at, is never giving in. And that's how they have been able to win games in the margins. I watched them for 3 games against the Cardinals. Like, their bats are really good. They can be electric at times, but when the pitching is that bad at home, like, how are you going to win games?
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's been tough on them. And then once you believe you can't pitch at home, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You sort of pitch to what your belief is about your ability to pitch in Sacramento. So we'll see. Just a few more years there, and then they get to Vegas and see how the ball sails there. All right, coming back, some softball pitches for Danny Wexelman, the sideline reporter for the Cardinals. Cubs matched up over the weekend. We'll talk about the Sunday game next. In the leadoff spot, are playing some tremendous baseball, and the Detroit Tigers are not. They matched up again, and the White Sox going for a sweep of the series.
Looking for one pitch, the whack. Then he hits a fly ball out into right. Perez is back. He's at the fence. She's going to go. We're tied. There's your pitch to whack.
I think it's just staying within myself, staying with my approach and my plan, and really not trying to do too much. Believe and trust the guys behind me that, I don't have to really try to do too much because I got guys behind me who can contribute.
0-2, hit on the ground, into left. Might drop around third. He's going to score without a throw. They've got the lead.
No, I think, it's just the belief in one another. The never quit, Tristan Peters, grinding out that bat and be able to, take the lead. That was awesome.
All right, so the first call you heard was on Chicago White Sox radio network, and then you heard Colson Montgomery, the young rookie shortstop, talking about the success of the team, his own early success of the season. The White Sox sweep the Tigers in this weekend series, and right now they are soaring, right? A couple games over 500, trying to solidify their spot in the American League Central, trying to bring their fans back to the stadium, packing the South Side again, and they're doing it in a unique way, right? They have some homegrown guys, they have some veteran players who are mixed in there. Unfortunately, Munetaka Murakami was placed on the IL with a hamstring strain. And here's the cool thing about him, right? He wants to stay and hang around the team. He doesn't want to go off and rehab somewhere else. He doesn't want to be at home watching the game. He wants to be in the dugout, sweating with the boys, hanging with the boys, and being a part of the culture that they've created there with Will Venable and that entire staff. And saying the broadcast did such a great job this weekend describing, Brooke Fletcher really did a great job reporting about how Munetaka Murakami thinks that he can help the team in the margins, thinks that he can still help in certain ways, even if he's not playing. But he's infectious, right? He's brought this spark and this energy, this global energy into the Chicago White Sox organization. And it may be because of the bidet. Steve, you might say that, but I think it might be because of his bat too. I'm not sure. Both could be right. But what he's done for them, not only are they scoring more than 5 runs per game, but they're competing and they're winning ball games in that fashion. And all of those little things, they add up to wins, especially in their own division.
What makes you think that I was going to bring up the bidet as an issue in all of this? I'm just curious.
It's like a little, just a feeling, like a gut feeling that I had. It's crazy. Yeah, was I wrong?
Gut right down. No, I was thinking about going there, but
my heart and my gut. Yeah.
Yes. Then I thought to myself, well, Murakami hits nothing but home runs. So does a strained hamstring really matter if he's going to trot around the bases? I mean, it's not like he's got to leg out infield hits. He hits nothing but home runs. Yeah. Colson Montgomery, by the way, 15 home runs for him right now. And again, we're 60 games into the season. And so think about that, a third of the way in, the kind of year this young man's putting together already. And what I like is that they're winning without Murakami. That, young teams need to learn how to win at the major league level. That's the trick. You want to develop through your farm system. So winning's important, but development is also at times more important than winning in the minor leagues. But you need to win so that you learn that rhythm that you get into as a team to be able to do it. And they're starting to do that now. Murakami's been a big part of protecting Montgomery and Miguel Vargas and guys like that so that they could get off into the season. And now they're kind of, being able to sort of, like the little doe that's able to sort of get up on its own 4 legs and walk now. They're doing that themselves. And so it's been impressive what they're doing. And the pitching's been pretty good yesterday. Burke had a pretty good game for them yesterday. For the Tigers, 4-21 since Tarik Skubal went down. Now,
how's your mom feeling about that?
Yeah, not great. My mom, although she loves the City Connect costumes that the Tigers have now, she's not loving the 4-21. And when you have an ace, he's the stopper to keep you out of losing streaks. They don't have that guy right now. And you talked about Jack Flaherty, who's, has not won yet, and he's getting strikeouts, but he's given up
and
runs
Framber
and home
Valdez
runs.
doesn't look like Framber Valdez.
Doesn't look like it. And so and then offensively, they're not doing things. And so it's been a tough run there, and they can't seem to get out of it. And they're stuck in that. And if anybody can get you out of it from a managerial point of view of mixing and matching and trying to find the right matchups, it would be A.J. Hinch. This is just a rut that they're in, that they just in a free fall right now at 22-38. Oof. I did not see that coming for the Detroit Tigers. So a disappointing place. And Skubal's rushing to get back, and he's probably going to get back just in time to show everybody that he's healthy. And I don't know how they don't trade him at the trade deadline this year.
Well, let me ask you this real quick, because I know we got to get to our triple, but I want to ask you that question. Like, what kind of haul can you get knowing that he's coming back from this nano surgery, but knowing the caliber of pitcher? Like, what kind of haul will you request as the Tigers for Tarik Skubal?
Yeah, so if he proves that he's healthy when he comes back, and his stuff is where it's been, and he bounces back from between starts and everything looks like it's okay, then I think you're looking at, it's just a rental for the final couple months, but for a team that is in it to win it mode, and to try to put them over the top to get an ace in the front of the rotation, like think about him and Chris Sale with the Atlanta Braves. Like, I like Atlanta and what they've done, but I'd like it a lot more if you pair them up front with Chris Sale in that rotation.
Sure. I love Atlanta.
A matchup, right?
That feels realistic to me. Yeah, but also, like, I love the idea of a much smaller market team who has a lot of farm depth and system depth being able to bring him in and solidify their rotation. I could also see the San Diego Padres giving up Ethan Salas to bring him in. They did it with Mason Miller and Leo DeVries last year, so who knows what they'll do. Right,
and so you're going to get a top 10 prospect most likely, or an organization's best prospect, and then likely 2 to 3 or 4 other, top 15, 20 prospects from a team. It's going to be a mega deal. There's no question about that if he gets dealt.
I like Tampa Bay too. Tim Jones, I agree with you, our producer. I love the idea of Tampa Bay. Pitching it in the Trop for Tarik Skubal in that staff,
The only thing is that, remember, it's going to be $10 million in salary for the final 2 months of the season. He's making only $30 million, right? So a third of that is going to be $10 million, and the team's going to have that.
Win the World Series.
Right. And so we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see. But I think everybody will be in to a certain degree, at least kicking the tires.